Okay, this is part 2 of my honing video using concave stones, and I did brighten up the blade quite a bit in the area surrounding this nick in the blade. It's quite a deep nick. The bevel here, and I'm going to scroll down to the base of the bevel now, that would be probably considered the base right there. This spot right there, and this is where the bevel transitions into the face of the razor down there, the body of the razor. So we did have some rust areas on this blade right in this through here, but now we've replaced those scratches and removed most of that rust, and we're left with just this nick. So now I'm going to go back to the 1000 grit King, and we're going to try to remove that nick in as quickly as possible. And at the same time, we're going to try to get an idea of how many strokes it takes to get down beyond that nick, and also at the same time, how wide does the bevel become, and how distorted or worn does the spine become on this razor. So these are one directional strokes. I'm lifting the razor for the return stroke, and you can hear that. So that's about 40 strokes. I'll do 40 on this side. So that was 40. Let's take a look and see what the edges beginning to look like. Okay, here is the nick, and you can see how the edge has come down and the nick is becoming shallower. That's after 40 strokes. It looks sort of blurry. The scratches are fine and sharp. But the edge, there's a huge false edge there because I'm only honing on one side at a time. There's even folded steel in the nick area there too. So that's with 40 strokes plus the original 20. This is not going to happen anytime soon, but I'll put another maybe 60 strokes on it, on the edge, and see if that brings that nick down any farther. That's 40. So it's 40 per side. Now I'm going to do so that's 10. So that's another 21, diminishing progression. I'm having trouble seeing that nick now. I may have pretty much, oh, that could be it right there. Okay. I think this is it. Let me scroll along the way here. Oh, there it is right there. So, here again, here's our nick. I'll take a photo. And at the same time, we're looking at how wide the bevel has become. There's the nick, and I'll just slowly go down to the base of the bevel. I sort of went too fast. There it is. That's how wide our bevel is right now. It may be slightly wider. But we'll take photos of this for other photos for comparison with a regular digital camera. And here's a photo of the base. This will be photo number 1481. Okay, so we did get down somewhat on that nick. This razor is 75 years, or about 150 years old. It's probably made in the 1850s, 60s, right in through there. So there is some damage and there is some rust on this blade also. But I'm going to set aside that king, and I'm going to bring back into play the Tomae, and I'm going to raise the slurry again. And we'll see if we can just clean up this edge a bit more. Okay, so I have my slurry down in the works there. Okay, that's fair enough, I think. So that was 42 strokes. And I need to wipe off the dust, or whatever it is from the blade. Okay, here is that nick. Right here. And you can see how much more refined the blade has become. Focus in. And our scratch pattern is more regular now. Okay, I'm going to scroll down towards the base. And here it is right here. So the refinement does continue down towards the base of the bevel. And that's what our edge looks like. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, and I think this is going to work, is I have a leather strop here, and it's just an old shell strop. Okay, that was 20, and then I have some linen on the back. I'll rinse off the blade, and I'm going to put it back in the microscope. Here's that nick. You can see this definition a little bit better now, the shape of it. And a lot of those j-natural scratches have been polished out quite a bit, the larger ones. And here we go down towards the base of the bevel, which is essentially right there. So you can see how narrow the bevel still is after about maybe 120 or 130 strokes. And let me take a photo. And I'll take one of the base too, just for sake of argument. Okay, so now I'm going to take the blade out, and I have here some hair, and I have a little table, so I'm going to do a hanging hair test. That hair bounced back over onto my holding finger here, and that fell on the other side. There are going to be some weak parts of the razor here and some sharper parts. There is a slight smile on this blade. Luckily there's no frown. But I am getting HHT. I'm going to call them in the 2s and 3s. And wedges are not like famous for producing outrageously good hanging hair tests, but I do want to bring the razor back to the camera, and I want to look at the edge with the light reflecting off of it to look to see how narrow that edge is. And we're reflected over off the spine. There's our hone wear from the spine, on the spine. And let's look at the logo, the etched logo if we can. So there is spine wear, there is edge wear from the stone, but all in all, to take a razor that essentially is a wedge on a stone that's not flat and create an edge that is, I've shaved off this razor yesterday and it wasn't as sharp as this. So I think that's a pretty quick little study there on how the effectiveness of a concave stone can work in conjunction with a wedge razor. This is the end of part 2.